The decision to carry a firearm is a serious one and not something to be taken lightly. While some argue that owning and carrying a gun is a necessary means of self-defense, others believe that carrying a weapon only puts oneself and others in danger. There are certain firearms, however, that are widely regarded as being particularly terrible choices to carry. In this video, we will examine the top 7 worst guns to carry, considering their potential drawbacks, risks, and practicality.
The Taurus Judge. At first glance, the Taurus Judge is a big old beast of a revolver. It looks a little deformed, but it has an undeniable heftiness. That being said, this weapon is by no means an ideal self-defense weapon, a concealed carry weapon, or really useful for any serious issue. Of the several issues with the Taurus Judge polymer revolver, its cylinder issues are the most common. You will notice that even when the cylinder is in a locked position, it rotates in either direction in a slight manner. Most importantly, it can occur while the gun is loaded. Another type of cylinder problem that occurs in the Judge polymer is that it gets stuck. Even though the hammer and trigger work, it won't release and swings out. Additionally, in newly purchased Judge revolvers, used shells sometimes get stuck in the cylinder. Overall, Taurus Judge may not be a great option unless you're using it on snakes. Research Desert Eagle. It is not uncommon for concealed carry firearms to have a magazine capacity of 7 rounds. What is uncommon is for a concealed carry weapon with a 7-round magazine capacity to weigh 72 ounces, and that too, when empty. Made famous by the 1997 movie The Matrix, Agent Smith's pistol is too big and too heavy for the average person to conceal and carry. Housed for Magnum cartridges such as the .44 Magnum and the absurd .5 Action Express, not only does it generate far too much power and blast to be used for personal defense, but the blast and noise can also be detrimental to the user's ears, with the risk of hearing impairment if used indoors. It is also completely impractical for personal defense, when you really need something that is light and easy to hold, reaches its target quickly, and fires multiple shots in rapid succession to neutralize an enemy attacker. Desert Eagles typically range in price from $1,500 to $2,000, which is about 3 times the price of a typical service handgun. Based on these facts, purchasing an overpriced Desert Eagle range toy over the many other great options in the market is highly questionable. Remington R51. The R51 has a neat design and is fairly small and compact, but it was plagued with problems from the start. The manufacturer recalled the guns several times, resulting in many gun owners not receiving their weapons for a long time. Recalls suggest that the product doesn't work. No one wants a self-defense weapon that isn't always 100% reliable. What do you expect when something goes wrong and your weapon fails? Not only that, but the gun has had a number of reliability issues. It would fail to be fired, ejected, or extracted. What's even worse is that it would fire out of battery, which means it would fire before the slide fully closed. Also, due to its uncommon design, it is an absolute nightmare to disassemble. Even after the new and improved Gen 2 R51 was released, the gun could not thrive, as it was a weapon stained with a bad reputation. Remington eventually moved on and produced the RP9 and the RM380, and the R51 faded into the past. North American Mini Revolver. With more cost-effective and reliable 9mm compact pistols on the market today, there is no reason to opt for a wheel gun for concealed carry. The light weight and portable size that makes this revolver enjoyable to carry, combined with the heavy, long trigger pulls of up to 12 pounds or more, lead to it being notably difficult to shoot well without good hand strength and regular practice. Revolver models might have good damage capabilities, but they lack in-clip capacity. With the proliferation of reliable, ultra-compact 9mm caliber pistols packed with ever-increasing capacity magazines, 5- and 6-round snub-nose revolvers are at a serious disadvantage. They lack speed, often unpredictable shot patterns, and are downright ridiculous. Some revolvers are also very bulky, and the goal is to always keep the gun concealed as much as possible, so that could pose a problem for the owner. Derringers. The Derringer has a certain aesthetic that no modern pistol can replicate. Some of these small, double-barreled pistols, like the Bond Arms Derringers, are uniquely crafted weapons. However, they are one of the worst weapons for concealed carry. You get 2 shots, a single-action trigger, tiny little grips, and extremely short barrels. The combination of these 3 factors gives you lots of recoil, slow follow-up shots, and an even slower reload time. Modern Derringers are a break action to load, and can be time-consuming for an untrained person. Their small stature makes them difficult to shoot and have limited capabilities in terms of range. Its small size also makes it challenging to control, and not as safe to carry as larger pistols. Another drawback is the price. For the price of a Derringer, you could buy a decent semi-automatic pistol and get a gun with more than a 2-round capacity. Derringers may be cool, but they're certainly not ideal for concealed carry. The Rohm RG10. ROHM revolvers were originally marketed as self-defense weapons at an affordable price. Though affordable guns aren't always bad, the Rohm RG10 certainly is. The gun's cheap internal mechanisms and features have discouraged customers from choosing this gun as their weapon of self-defense. The frames are made of a very weak metal alloy that breaks easily, and they are not bolted or pinned together. They are rather pressed together, like a toy cap gun instead of being screwed to each other. The pins holding the internal parts in place can roll out of the holes they're inserted in, causing the mechanism to rattle around and get out of time. When the gun times out, the cylinder won't rotate. Or worse, the cylinder gets locked with the chamber out of alignment with the barrel, which, when fired, causes hot lead splinters to erupt from both sides of the gap in the cylinder. Not only that, but repeated firings with misaligned bullets hitting the rear of the barrel can loosen the barrel and cause it to fall out. These above reasons may give you an insight as to why the RG10 and all its clones are often called the worst guns ever. Hi-Point C9. The Hi-Point C9 pistol is the laughingstock of the firearms community. If you're immensely tight on money, it is an option, but it comes with a long list of disclaimers. The slides are huge, heavy, and very gritty when racked. This trait is shared with some other features of the pistol. The trigger proves to be just as terrifying, if not worse. It's heavy, too. At 8 pounds, it's not likable at all, especially since it's a striker-fired gun. It's also too big, clunky, and heavy to conceal. The texture of the grip isn't the best, and it doesn't stick firmly to your hands. Between hits. The grip is a little short as well, which means recoil tends to shift the gun in the hand. And after a rapid-fire string, your hand will definitely shift. Ergonomics are a mixed bag, and one of the gun's major drawbacks. The grip on the pistol is unusually wide, especially for a 9mm. The slide is huge, but has very little grip texture to rack. It's kind of silly. It's already a tougher than average weapon, and would benefit greatly from more texture on the pistol. Nothing strikes ergonomically unsafe chords, but nothing really stands out either. That's all for today. Thank you so much, and we'll see you next time.